Hi, I'm setting up this video today to talk about the 3 mistakes that you can make when you're facing felony charges or misdemeanor charges, and the mistakes that you can make that will punish you. So let's talk about the first one. The first mistake that people often make when they do things without consulting with their attorney is that they want to get their charges dismissed. They want to get this case over with because they know in their hearts that they're innocent. What's the first mistake? The first mistake is calling the police, trying to go over there and give your statement and tell your side of the story in the hopes that the whole thing will get dropped. That's a mistake. Why? Because the police are not your friends. It's their job to investigate, it's their job to take everything that you say, put it down into a report, and hopefully gather enough evidence to convict you. And often what happens, and this is what I hear from clients, is that when they give statements to police, the statements are not written down correctly. They end up being misinterpreted and miswritten, and before you know it, your words are being twisted against you, and you actually cooperated and helped create those twisted words. Same thing can happen with people who go directly to the district attorney's office when they're facing criminal charges in hopes of getting their charges dismissed. The second mistake that I want to talk to you about, and I've seen this from people, clients who are facing criminal charges, is people who decide they want to take things into their own hands, and they write a letter to the judge. They will talk about the entire case in their letter, describe the charges, describe the case and why they're innocent, and conclude with, "Dear Judge, please dismiss this case." The problem with that is that when you send a letter to the judge, first of all, I'll tell you something right now. The judge doesn't care what you write about. But by law, when you write to the judge, he's required to make that letter a part of the record. It goes into the file. It's a public record. And now everyone can read that letter and everyone can use it, including the district attorney. So that's mistake number 2. You write that letter and you don't go through your lawyer, your defense counsel. You're making a big mistake because now you're giving a heads up to the other side, to the judge, exactly what your opinion is on the case, what you say, and you're locking yourself in. And these things can, as I said, be used against you. It's a mistake you should never make. And trust me, the judge will never dismiss your case based on a letter that you send, even if you're being honest and even if you're trying to help. Go through your defense attorney. Now, the third mistake that people can make that will punish you when you're facing criminal charges is when you come to the court and you're unprepared. And what that means is you're not dressed appropriately. You should never come to court wearing shorts, flip-flops, or thong shirts. Wear a dress shirt. Wear a dress. Dress as nicely as you possibly can because everyone's paying attention, especially the judge. And when we're negotiating cases, the judges mention and they pay attention to how you act, how you're dressed, and all of these other factors that you may not be aware of, but it does affect our ability to help you. Always show up on time. If you're always late to court and you're always full of excuses, it's something the judges will use against you, and they'll say it when we're negotiating cases. Don't have excuses. Remember, you've been ordered to come back to court. You weren't asked to come back to court. Court is not a restaurant. You can't just call in and reschedule. So if you miss court, that's called a fail to appear, and all kinds of awful things can happen to you when you don't come to court. They can take away your freedom and put you back in jail. They can raise your bail, or they can even take away your right to bail. So those are things that people do that they shouldn't be doing that will hurt them and punish them when they're trying to either negotiate their cases or ask for certain favors from the judge. Always let the judge talk. Don't interrupt the judge. Judges are human. You interrupt them, they're going to get mad. All they have to do is nod to the side and the deputy will come over and put the handcuffs on. And we certainly don't want to be in that kind of a position. Dress well, show up on time, speak respectfully, speak in regular English. Yes, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. And I know a lot of you are out there and you're nervous and you want to maybe take a drink or take a little puff or a little snort, something to take the edge off. But really, you should not come to drunk high or on drugs because those things will be noticed and you could potentially pick up new charges even in court. I've seen it done. So these are the 3 mistakes that you can make that will punish you when you're facing criminal charges.